Well, hello everybody. Thanks for having us today. My name is Brooks White. I farm along with my wife and our two kids. Pearson, Manitoba is where we farm. And this is our team. And everybody in this team, so important they all get a shirt. And Amber's one of our team members, and I am so happy she agreed to join me today and share her story as well. The team means more to us on our farm. I guess when I asked to do this talk, and the title was Learning and Growing Through Networks, and I thought about all the different networks that I've been involved in, and what I felt maybe had the most value and the most importance to us is this team. It's our farm team, and my wife Jen, she doesn't like to call it our team, she calls it our family, because they are so important to us. Thinking about some other networks that have brought a lot of value to me over the last few years, and I think the one that really kind of started it off for me was a program called C-Team. And what it is a farm management course that I enrolled in. And I think it was in 2015 that I started it. And it was a course over 2 years. And what it did is it brought 20 farms from across Canada together to study some farm management topics. And over that course of 2 years, we met 4 times in person for a week for that period. And when I went into that program, I felt like our farm was a little bit lost in the direction we wanted to take and where we were going. And so it was really through that program and that network of farmers that I really gained that direction. And through that program, we developed strategic plans for all of our farms, and we really helped guide each other and try to gain that direction that we really needed. And through that, I feel in the last few years, we've really started to progress as a farm. Through that program, because everybody came from a different background to farm, we really got to learn a lot of the different aspects of agriculture across Canada. And they could sometimes see things that we hadn't thought about in our little pocket of agriculture here, and to look at the bigger picture. And we still stay connected and formed lifelong friendships with that network of people. And we stay connected mostly through a Facebook group now that we can chime in on every once in a while and give an update or ask questions. But it was through that C-Team program that I really understood the value those peer groups had brought. And I knew we needed to stay part of a network similar to that. But it had to be something for our farm that was maybe a little more local, because that larger network, it just was going to be hard to logistically make those meetings make sense. So I had the opportunity to get involved in a formally ran peer group. And in that peer group, it's set up with a management company, and it's through Backswath Management. And we have a professional moderator that moderates our peer group meetings. And so the farms are from across Saskatchewan, and there's 2 from Manitoba. And I think there's 9 farms participating. And we have a written charter as well as a confidentiality agreement. So everybody signs this agreement. And what it does is it brings a certain amount of respect and confidentiality with everybody, that we can kind of open up and anything goes. And in those meetings, we can bring up management topics that maybe we wouldn't want to talk about locally, things like land purchases or rental agreements and things like that maybe are a little more sensitive to discuss with people that you might be farming with at home, but somebody you're not competing with in an outside area that can kind of see outside the box and maybe on a similar management level that are thinking the way you are, that can really help you guide some decision-making processes. And through that peer group, we meet 3 times a year in person, and we go to a hotel for 2 days, and we just kind of really get to work, because we've invested not only our time, but we've also made a monetary investment to join these groups. So every year we annually invest, and part of what that goes to is to pay for the facilities, to rent a hotel room to conference in, but also to bring in guest speakers once in a while. So if we have a specific topic we're really stuck on and we need some help with, we can bring somebody in. And one meeting of that year, each year, will be held at one of the farms in the group. So we will visit everybody's farm and get to experience it. So this was our first on-farm meeting this last summer, and this was held in our office. And we brought in a guest speaker to talk about branding our businesses, because it was something that was a common topic that came up, but nobody had a whole lot of experience with. and so we wanted somebody to kind of bring in some advice on that. And we spent some fun time as well out doing some field tours and visiting around. Interesting thing with this peer group that I am in, there's also 3 other farms that joined this group that went through that same C-Team program in prior years. So I think that it's kind of a common theme that going through that program that people are realizing the value these networks are bringing. I didn't know anybody in this group going into it, so it's been a real new learning experience and getting to meet some new friends along the way. And because we have that monetary commitment to it, we really try to make the most of all the time we're spending there. And there's an amount of accountability to it. We go home with homework, and when we come back, we have something we need to report to the group and make a new presentation, and we better be prepared to do it. And continuing on from that group, I got involved in the Canada OYF program. And in the last year, it's been a real valuable experience for me getting involved in that. And one of the mentors I had in my life, my dad is probably my primary mentor I've had. He told me years ago, if I wanted to be successful in farming, the most important thing I could do was surround myself with successful people. And I think going through that C-Team program, my peer group, and now this Outstanding Young Farmer program, there's no better way for me to surround myself with successful people than those 200 or 300 people that meet annually through that program. I spent a week with those people in Winnipeg recently, and it was the most amazing experience to spend a week with 200 other farmers and not hear one single negative comment about agriculture in a week. It's the most positive group of people I've ever met. So going through that mentorship program, or not program, but experiencing the mentorship that I've received from my dad in the future, and I really did see the value of that, and kind of stumbled upon Amber by accident when she started working for us a few years ago to mow lawn. And within a couple of months, she was running our combine. And at 16 years old, she took on this $400,000 combine, and she was the main operator. And I saw so much potential in her potential skills and leadership skills and some qualities, and it was never meant to progress to this kind of mentorship relationship, but I feel like that's how it's kind of going forward. So I asked her to come up and join us today and share some of her experiences and the value that maybe that's brought to her.
Hi everyone, I'm Amber McNish, and I'm in my first year of the Agribusiness Diploma program at ACC. I grew up on a cattle farm and loved the lifestyle, but I never could imagine pursuing agriculture as a career. 3 years later, I'm more passionate than ever and couldn't see myself doing anything else. I believe my biggest driving factor in becoming interested in the agriculture sector was having a mentor to guide me along the way. The definition of mentorship is a form of informal communication over an extended period of time. It is someone you look up to and strive to be. I've worked for Borderland Agriculture for 3 years now, and I absolutely love my job. Each day was a new opportunity and experience, and that's what I loved about it. My mentor was Brooks. Each day I went to work, I learned something new. I absorbed every little bit of information he threw at me. My family noticed a drastic change in me since working at Borderland. I am more confident, knowledgeable, and determined to do anything I set my mind to. I've gained the confidence that nothing will hold me back in my future plans. Brooks often told me in high school, "You never stop learning, get used to it." I've since learned he is very right. The agriculture industry is constantly changing with new research and technology. Since going to college, I've learned I'm really interested in learning about the future of agriculture and where it's going. Brooks encouraged me to do things out of my comfort zone, and I'm forever grateful for that. He would never tell me that I had to do something, but I felt guilty if I didn't at least try. I always felt like I didn't want to disappoint him, nor did I want to pass up an opportunity I may never get again. He would often ask me this question: "What did you learn? What will you do next time instead?" One of my biggest accomplishments happened just this fall. Brooks offered me the opportunity to head down to Albany, Minnesota to represent the farm at a bison show and sale. I've never been more proud of myself in jumping in another producer's truck with 12 bison and heading 10 hours away to talk to complete strangers about what we do at Borderland. I was able to build a network of new people down in Minnesota. Work became my social group. It allowed me to connect and network with people near and far. I'm a member of the Canadian Bison Association, as well a very involved member in the bison community. Brooks has also taken me to listen to lots of speakers on future farming practices, and I have been on lots of farm tours. I have formed friendships along the way and learned how to work well with others professionally and outside of work as well. Another quality of being a mentor is sharing past experiences. Brooks and his dad, Ron, are always full of stories and love to share them. I think that's also what got me so hooked on the idea of regenerative farming. Brooks is never shy to share his mistakes and lessons that he has learned along the way. I appreciate his dedication and strive for the farm to always be better, that he will never reach a point where something couldn't be improved. My sister is following me in my footsteps and has started working for Borderland Agriculture as well. Her mentor is Ron. She loves to spend time with him, hearing about his past stories, listening to his funny jokes, and doing things slowly because he is never in a big hurry. I think she also likes that he takes coffee breaks and quits at 5 on Fridays.
I think it's a result of seeing Amber's and Erica's special interest in what we were doing on our farm and maybe some of the opportunities they were seeing, that we thought maybe it was a great opportunity to share this with others. And so this summer we were asked to host a farm tour, and we thought, well, what better opportunity to do this than to share our story a little further. And so we hosted a summer farm tour on the hottest day of the year in August. And it was a really good day. We had about 80 people showed up, and we did some real fun and interactive tests that day. And absolutely, we would do this again. It's a way of sharing what we've been learning on our farm through regenerative agriculture. And I don't know if it was meant to be a theme today that the last 4 speakers today are involved in regenerative agriculture, but I think it really speaks to a trend that's happening right now. So we thought this was a great way to share our story, but if we're going to do this, let's try to do this maybe a little bit younger. Maybe we should start sharing with our kids and what we're trying to do on our farm at a younger age. And my kids, they don't have much of an interest in the farm. It seems to be a real challenge to get them to come out and want to spend time on the farm. So I think we really need to think of maybe some fun, and we call them, I don't know, maybe interactive ways on the farm that maybe include some technology and different ideas, because, well, we're competing our time with iPad time. So this is one of the ones that we found they really like, the Soil Your Undies Challenge. And so Amber actually led this project this year. And what it was she went around and what did you do, 6 different areas of the farm. She buried cotton underwear for 60 days. And to measure the microbial activity that was happening in the soil and how fast these cotton underwear would break down. So we got the kids involved too. And it's amazing what these kids learn at such a young age about what's happening. They pick up on these little things, and the 10-year-old, this day they're digging up the underwear, and the 10-year-old, he kind of yelled out, what happens with these underwear? Like, what's eating them? Is it the earthworms? And my little 7-year-old Sawyer, he knew what was going on. He yelled back and said, "No, Clay, it's not the earthworms, it's the microbes." He knew exactly what was happening. I think it was Amber's keen interest in this regenerative agriculture movement, I think, that continued us to want to learn together in a mentor relationship. And so this summer we created a new position for her on the farm. She's studying agribusiness and learning agronomy, so we thought, let's combine that with what we're trying to do on our farm, and we're going to have her develop her skills into soil health agronomy in the farm this summer. And she's going to develop all the soil health tests that we've been needing to do on our farm to try to benchmark some of these things we're doing, continuing on with things like tissue tests that we just can't seem to get time to normally do on the farm. She's going to run replicated trials to try to quantify some of these tests. And she's going to come up with the grazing plans so we can keep these bison moving through our system. She's also going to learn how to develop these cover crop designs, and we're selling a little bit of this cover crop seed, so she's going to learn how to do this for others too. Oh, and one more thing, Amber, you still have to mow the grass. So, yeah, this is our team. This is our family.
The other summer jobs didn't really offer what I wanted to learn about. This job offered me the ability to be able to learn hands-on with someone who is actively doing it in the field. I can't wait for the new challenges and tasks ahead of me this summer. I believe one-on-one mentorship can be extremely beneficial for an individual. Work became my passion, and my passion became my future career. I am now here today at only 18, telling you about this amazing mentorship opportunity that I didn't even know I signed up for. I can't wait to see where life is going to take me once completing school, and Brooks would tell me the only place is up. I have been able to experience so many things I never even knew were possible, and will forever feel like I am a part of their family. 20 years from now, I hope I'm a mentor to someone else, and maybe back here at Ag Days, talking about my experiences just like Brooks is here today.